wrong is underdressed when retribution overtakes its redresser. It is equally underdressed when the avenger fails to make himself known as such to him who has done the wrong. Neither by word nor deed have I given Signor Fortunato cause to doubt my goodwill. I continued, as was my wont, to smile in his face. And he did not perceive that my smile now was at the thought of his immolation.
So many people have read Edgar Allan Poe, so there's already sort of a brand there, you know. But even if they're already familiar with the stories, they're really hearing the words for the first time.
I think so often we dumb down language. Today, particularly, we're used to, in particular because of technology, we're used to shorthand LOL and oh my OMG, and all that sort of thing. And particularly with the 19th century text.
They're great pieces of literature, and I don't think we should dumb them down for audiences, and that's something that I'm very sensitive to. I will, sometimes for the sake of brevity, if I feel like the show is, if the same thing is being described over and over again, if it gets to be redundant, I will cut some things, but I'll never paraphrase it or dumb it down. Even with taking some dramatic license. There were some parts that I had to, the whole beginning when Alfred is the character's name, the Black Cat, when he's in his cell, I was very conscious of keeping, the style of the language as perhaps Poe might have written it, so that it was as seamless as possible. But
he actually does that better than any writer that I've ever seen.
Last Friday, I did a performance of this show for 308th graders on Long Island. And this is a school that's had me back 4 years in a row, and the teachers now made it part of the students' curriculum. But I can always, even the first year that I did it, I mean, I had been doing it for a couple of years, so I was able to, get the show down to where I wanted it. Of course, I'd been working with Lisa. The show was in very good shape. But the first time I performed at that school 4 years ago, I thought to myself, wow, this is the test. If I can keep their attention, and I did.
As a volunteer for Cape May Stage, I talked to a lot of people. And you mentioned it earlier, a lot of people, it's like, oh, it's a one-man show, I don't think that's my thing. And I tried to tell them, if you love the theater, you really have to experience these one-person things. And we've been very blessed now with this and previously with the Belle of Amherst. And I really try to talk that up. And a lot of people, even though they're theater goers, a lot of people don't get that. Try to tell them they need to come and get it.
Well, it's a legitimate concern. I'm so glad you mentioned it, because part of what I'm trying to do as an artistic director at Cape May Stage is to celebrate both the art of acting as well as the art of writing. And I mean, Greg really does both so well.
What conversation's going on inside your head? Is it, where are the words coming from? What's the emotion I need to portray? Or is Delisa telling me to slow down at this moment? I mean,
questions that are very much on my mind in rehearsal and between rehearsals. But once I get out here and I'm performing for an audience, I just let go of it, and the performance kicks in. And most times I'm successful in retaining, the excellent direction that she's given me. Sometimes she has to tell me more than once.
Very rarely. But there's an actress that we work with, Paula Hosa, and she said to me once it's in your bones. And actors come off stage all the time and they're like, oh, I had an off night, or oh, I had a great night. And she says, once it's in your bones, she says this to her younger cast members, there's maybe a 5% difference in your performance. It's there, it's part of your molecular makeup at some point. So there might be variations where you feel like you're off, but it in reality, to the audience, it's negligible because it's become a part, that performance has become a part of your own memory and being.
Getting it into your bones, I think that's so true for a solo show, and it's important to get the show into your bones at a very, very early phase, because I'm a firm believer that you can't act, you can't be in the moment, you can't do any of those things until you can do the lines in your sleep. And it's so, and learning the lines is a very mechanical thing, but once you have the lines, it frees you up for all this spontaneous behavior on stage. I mean, technically, you know where the play's going. I mean, you've done it before, but it allows all this wonderful spontaneity and that's where you really connect with an audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming, and again, a thank you to PNC Arts Alive for presenting these events, and we hope to see you back again. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Thanks.